start? So, I'm Devika. I'm currently teaching at APJ Institute of Design, Tughlakabad, as a visiting faculty for fashion illustration and portfolio development. So, basically, my slides are all about how we can develop the fashion illustration skills amongst the students. And to start off, basically teaching them how to differentiate between a human basic block figure and a fashion illustration block figure. The main respect of working about in a fashion illustration is that it's all about the elongated legs and the elongated hands and body postures and movements. So when it comes to the human block figure, it is an 8-head block figure, and a fashion croquis can go up till 10 or even 13. So teaching them basically about how the details are going about, and how the shoulders and the movements, it shouldn't be droopy shoulders as there are in the human figure generally. The second step would be fleshing out a 10-head block figure, where they actually learn about how to carve out the contours of a fashion figure. Then comes up that we can study the detail of the arms, the cuts and movements, and then the detailed study of the legs. When it comes to a human figure, the legs are slightly short and stout, and when it comes to the fashion figures, they are slightly thin and elongated. Then comes the detailed study of the foot postures with heels, shoes, and whatever accessories that they want to put onto the fashion figures. And then the upper body movement, basically how the hands can be, how a fashion figure is walking and everything. So all these things in detailed study. So basically what I do is I study in parts. I make them study in parts. Rather than doing a fashion figure all together, I break them down into steps so that they study each and every detail in process, so that there is no confusion at all at a later stage when they actually tell me that, if I want to make a side posture, how is that possible? So basically this chart, it shows the difference between a 8-head human figure to a 13-head fashion figure. So how, if we can actually see, there's hardly any improvement in the upper torso. The main portion that is focused on is the legs and the arms. Again, this shows the various sides of the body posture. It can be side view, it can be front view, it can be 3/4. So it is again a detailed study using basically the shoulder, waist and hip line. So what basically I use this exercise using a magazine. So we cut out various fashion figures from the magazine. We just chalk out the details like the shoulder line, the hip line and the waistline in a way where they can make the whole human fashion figure. Again, the profiles, what we can work upon, plus these are various postures, what a fashion figure can actually look like. This is just an initial detail of how it goes about, and the magazine exercise really helps the students, because initially when we start off with a fashion figure, it is not easy for them to make it directly on a sheet of paper. So what we do is block out the whole thing first, make a block of the whole thing, and then carve out, basically flesh out the whole fashion figure. Then comes on to the face profiles, how the face profiles can look, and also working with the various features. Not everybody is very focused on making very usual and typical features. So this is a basic study of how the features are, and the students themselves can find out what their USP of sketching is, which we do once we do all the basic study. We tell them that without looking at anything, you just make a fashion feature that appeals to you. They go through, they study a lot of fashion designers who, just like all these fashion directors at Gucci, Armani and everywhere, they search all the fashion figures, which if we see from our point of view are very crooked. We won't say that it is a perfect fashion illustration, but then that is how their USP style of sketching is. So my main agenda of this whole concept and all these classes would be to create their own style of a fashion figure, where they're not copying from somewhere. Rather than that, they're creating their own style. And if I look at one file, yes, I can say this is this student's work. So the whole file will be continuously in a same process, in a same procedure. That's how the portfolios in the end should be. It should define a student, it should define the candidate. So again, working with the hairstyles and rendering, my forte is watercolors, Staedtlers, dry charcoal, oil pastels, and I mean any other. I'm good with spatula also. They can always work with spatula rendering also. So these are a couple of rendering that we would be doing in the first year semester, or however the syllabus is divided. So there's a lot of focus on the hairstyles, because it's not only rendering with the paints, but they can always and always make it look good with the pen or the pencil also. So we do black and white sketching also, we do colored sketching also, and then we play with a lot of colors and everything, just to find the USP of that particular student, that this is how he can sketch actually. So yeah, that is it. That is it all about.
Are you getting some work of yours?
No, but I can mail you some.
Alright, and when you talk about 8-head figure or a 13-head figure, what is the psychology behind using a particular head? I mean, whether I'm using an 8-head or 10 or 13?
So basically it is a repetition of your own head 8 times.
I mean, if I had to use a figure, so what is the psychology that goes behind it? As for this, I will use 8-head figure or I'll use a 13-head figure?
No, 8-head is a completely restricted to human. So I would recommend students to actually make an 8-head figure, because when we make those flouncy gowns and all those outfits that are draped on the body, they always look beautiful, and the details can be carved very beautifully in a longer figure. When we use an 8-head figure, we are just blocked to that little figure, and we have to give those detailings, which is definitely not very appealing when you're actually making it also. So a collection, while making, it should look appealing to you, so that you can actually create that collection into a 3D form. So that is the whole concept. Why we convert a 8-head to a 13-head is because the fashion illustration is supposed to be longer and taller, so that all the details of the garment are coming out in a more beautiful manner.
And is there a difference between an adult croquis we draw or kids? How many heads you use for kids?
Kids, we haven't done yet, but yes, I know the whole thing about it. I'll have to study about it, and it's not an issue with me. I can show you my kids' portfolio also from my past, and I can show you my current work that is happening, which I can mail you.
You aren't getting it with you, or you have?
I wasn't told to get anything apart from the presentations. I would have got it otherwise.
No, actually the major point of presentation, what we follow here is, so that we get to know what kind of knowledge you have and everything. Okay. So with illustration, obviously you can't teach
see how I sketch and everything. I can mail you my portfolio right away. It's in my mail.
Right.
So you can go through that. That's my college portfolio though, and plus my work portfolio when I was working with JJ Balaya and Anayika. So you can go through that, plus with a couple of current sketches which I can send you right away.
Yeah, because with illustration and all, this kind of
definitely you want to see how my hand
for you also to make a presentation on a certain topic when you are teaching illustration.
I understand. I understand. Yeah. I thought maybe I have to speak about how basically I have to divide my syllabus in a way where the kids can actually develop this style of sketching. Okay?
Thank you.
You can give me your email ID. I'll mail you right away my initial